Gaza City erupts. Dozens killed as Hamas security forces clash with the Durmush clan. Gunfire tears through residential blocks, ambulances and accusations fly. A young journalist lies dead. In a fragile ceasefire, power fractures. Who now rules Gaza? At least 27 people have died in intense clashes in Gaza City as Hamas security forces confronted armed members of the Durmush clan, one of the most severe internal confrontations since large-scale Israeli operations wound down. Witnesses told the BBC that masked Hamas gunmen reportedly exchanged fire with clan fighters near the Jordanian Hospital and in the Telephone al-Hawa district. A senior Hamas Interior Ministry official said security units surrounded enemy positions and launched a heavy assault with the aim of detaining them, confirming 8 of its own were killed in what it described as an armed assault by a militia. The Durmush family, a historically prominent Gaza clan with tense relations with Hamas, has long operated with a degree of autonomy. Residents described scenes of panic, families fleeing as heavy gunfire erupted after a Hamas force of more than 300 fighters moved to storm a residential block where Durmush gunmen were entrenched. One resident told reporters,
"This time people weren't fleeing Israeli attacks, they were running from their own people."
Hamas claims Durmush gunmen killed 2 of its fighters and wounded others, forcing its hand. The clan offers a different version. It says Hamas forces entered a building once part of the Jordanian Hospital, where clan members had taken refuge after their homes were destroyed, aiming to evict them and establish a base there. Local sources report that Hamas has recalled some 7,000 security force members to re-establish control in areas vacated by Israeli troops, and that deployments now include operatives in both civilian clothes and police uniforms. The Hamas media office denies deploying fighters in the streets. According to medical sources, 19 Durmush clan members and 8 Hamas fighters have so far died. Some Gaza media outlets also report that Hamas has arrested dozens of Durmush family members, transferring them to security facilities for questioning. Amid this turmoil, social media has amplified additional allegations. Writer and OSINT investigator Eitan Fischberger wrote on X,
"Breaking, Hamas executed 25 members of the Durmush family. According to first-hand accounts, gunmen disguised as medics entered the family's area in ambulances, then executed the people in front of their families."
These developments underscore the fragile balance of power within Gaza and the potential for further internal fragmentation. Saleh Aljafarawi, a 28-year-old video journalist, was reportedly shot and killed while covering the Hamas militia clashes in Gaza City's Sabra neighborhood. He rose to prominence after a viral October 7, 2023 video praising Hamas's attack, later filming himself weeping amid Israeli airstrikes. Pro-Israel activists dubbed him Mr. FAFO, short for fuck around and find out. Palestinian sources told Al Jazeera Arabic that Al-Jafarawi was wearing a press vest when he was found dead on what appeared to be the back of a truck. He had been missing since the morning of October 12, amid confrontations between Hamas security forces and fighters from the Durmush clan. A senior source in Gaza's Ministry of Interior told Al Jazeera Arabic the clashes involved an armed militia affiliated with the Israeli occupation. The ministry said it imposed a siege on the militia and claimed displaced people were also killed as they returned to the city, claims that are difficult to independently verify. Local media reported that the son of Hamas official Bassem Naim also died in the same or concurrent fighting. Al-Jafarawi had emerged as a prominent social media presence during the war, despite threats over his coverage. He once said, "I lived in fear for every second," recalling that he did not know what each moment might bring. As of now, no independent confirmation has been released by Hamas or Durmush representatives about who exactly fired the fatal shot. The Gaza war has been deadly for journalists. Since October 7, 2023, over 270 media workers have been reported killed in Gaza, making this the deadliest modern conflict for the press in the region. In the context of a fragile ceasefire and a planned hostage prisoner exchange, Al-Jafarawi's death underscores the perilous conditions under which journalists continue to operate, as authorities investigate questions persist about accountability and the protection of media workers in war zones. A fragile ceasefire is now in effect, and observers say hostages may be released sooner than ever. Yet amid this first phase of the deal, questions remain about Hamas's future role as Gaza's ruling authority. Various militias opposed to the group are increasingly vocal about its weakening. Hassam al-Astal, commander of the al-Hawa militia in Khan Yunis, told Ynet,
"We saw how brittle and weak Hamas is, an organization that depends mainly on strong propaganda. In practice, it no longer has significant strength."
Recently, al-Astal claimed that an Israeli Defense Forces strike destroyed a Hamas cell preparing attacks on his militia, an event he says exposed the organization's vulnerabilities. Al-Astal, a former officer in the Palestinian Preventive Security Services, said he formed his own militia, established a humanitarian zone in the village of Kazan al-Nahar, and invited residents fleeing conflict into his area. He added that his group coordinates with the Abu Shabab militia in eastern Rafah and parts of Khan Yunis, though it operates independently. Describing clashes with Hamas, al-Astal spoke of shortages, uniforms, training, resources, and said there was no Hamas presence in his compound.
"We are in Kizan al-Najjar. We have many civilians in the compound, and there is no Hamas presence there. It's only a matter of time until we topple Hamas fighters for good."
Support for his militia, al-Astal says, comes from several Western countries, the United States and Israel. Al-Astal's message is that residents who reject Hamas rule should be supported and protected.